hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press.
Saved it.
What a save.
Look to the outside as Tronke goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though. Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the upset the Parabolka. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the Parabolka. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome back to Dover. We are here with the Major League Esports Series, the Catalyst Mid-Series, as we now begin round 2 of the chase. 4 drivers have been eliminated. Now we move on to the final 12 in this series, and what a race we've got in store for you tonight. We have a race here, none other than the Monster Mile itself, Dover International Speedway. We have 12 drivers ready to take the green here tonight. Not a big field, but that should make for some good racing and some good green flag action. Regardless of which, let's go straight into whatever it is we're doing. I mean, we're just about to tick over into qualifying. Just over a minute left in the practice session. Currently got Mr. Travis Brown at the top of the standings, Mark Arthur in second, Kyle Gilbert in third, Tim Bills in fourth, Doug Thompson in fifth, sixth is Hunter King, seventh is Brian McRae, eighth is Marshall Newton, ninth is Tex Perry, and rounding out your top 10 is Tyler Vickery. 11th is Robert Hill Jr. and last driver to take time here tonight was Mr. Cody McCorkle. We have got AJ Rogers on his way into the session as well, so another driver there for everybody to watch here tonight. Let's get into it, shall we? We've got qualifying coming up right now here for you on Bofa Broadcasting. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett, riding solo tonight, as my partner in crime, Mr. Tony Trapasso, had a bit of a breakdown on his way home tonight, so he won't be joining me in the booth tonight. Hopefully you get that all fixed out and all sorted out there for yourself, Tony. But let's go into it. Let's go into qualifying and get things underway here. As no, that's not the one I was looking for. That's the one I'm looking for, as we are watching the drivers go round on track. As you see there, Mr. Brian McRae, sorry, just making his way around track. But now here comes the qualifying. Let's put the qualifying standings up on your screen there. There it is. So let's see who comes out of pit road first, as Hunter King is going to be the man to bring it out first. It would be nice if I had it on the actual camera, wouldn't it? There we go. There it is, Hunter King. Just making his way around the track. He's the first one to be up to full speed, so we'll focus on him and see what kind of a benchmark he can set down as he comes out of turn 4 at full pace here. That's all, he gets it all wrong coming out of turn 2. That's not going to help him in the long run. And that's not going to help his qualifying run here. Let's take a look at one of our newest drivers to the league. That's Mr. Robert Hill Jr. You've seen him before on both for broadcasting. And the number 67. As he seems to be doing okay. Making his way through 3 and 4 now, as Robert Hill Jr. has put the first time down here. Currently working on his second lap now. Freddie McCorkle jumps into second place. And that's his qualifying done. Kyle Gilbert's jumped straight up to the top of the standings. As his qualifying is over, Marshall Newton goes into second. And Hunter King gets it all wrong again coming out of 4. So his qualifying time will not count. There's Travis Brown. Had a tough race last week at Charlotte. Hopefully he can turn it around tonight. Get a decent result. He comes out of turn 4. Let's see what time he can put down this time. Oh, nothing yet because he's not set a time yet. So Tyler Vickery jumps into third place in the number 24. And here comes Travis Brown though. Out of turn 4 he comes. Let's see what sort of a time he can bring onto the scoreboard. And it's good enough for second place there. As Tim Bills slots into third place in the number 37. Mark Arthur is out on track. New paint scheme for the man. And the 12 as he hits the wall big time out of turn 4, sorry. That's not going to help him. Brian McRae is out on track as well. And the Authentic Details number 35. As he crosses the line, that's good enough for putting him to 4th place. So good time there for the man in the 35. AJ Rogers is out on track as well. Just waiting for Trading Paints to wake up. There we go. In the Western Auto number 5. What has he got as he comes out of 4? Big wiggle coming out of 4. And that's not good enough to move him up position. He stays in P7. Mark Arthur is back out on track now. Let's see what he can do in that number 12 machine. Out of turn 4. And that is his out lap done. Let's see what he can do on his a flying lap here. And Hunter King has given up. He's not going to set a time here. Meanwhile, here comes Mark Arthur out of turn 4. Let's see what the time he can get. Gets a big wiggle coming out of turn 4. That will have lost him some time. But that's good enough to put him 3rd for now. And that is his qualifying done so far. Doug Thompson is the next man. We're going to put a time in now. Out of turn 4 he comes. Let's see what he's got here. Good enough for P5. So into the top 5 there for the man in the 13. Chicken Pit on his sponsor here tonight. On his second lap now, down the back stretch. Here he comes into turn 3. Out of turn 4. What has he got here as he hits the wall? That's going to be it for his qualifying. And he won't get any higher than P5 here, unfortunately. Only 2 drivers not to take a time here. Hunter King having absolute terrible qualifying, and Tex Perry hasn't been out on track at all yet, so going to be interesting. I'm guessing he's going to be taking a rear grid slot here. as Kyle Gilbert goes for a spin. But it looks like he's just turning laps at this point and he's doing donuts now. Nice way to end your qualifying. So we are just over 4 minutes left in qualifying. Everybody has turned their laps. Everybody has got their times in. As we will bring up the results for you there. So the results as they stand so far: Kyle Gilbert is the man on pole. Travis Brown is in second. Third is Mark Arthur. Tim Bills sits in fourth. Doug Thompson in fifth. Brian McRae in sixth. Seventh is Marshall Newton. Eighth is Tyler Vickery. Ninth is AJ Rogers. And rounding out the top 10 is Robert Hill Jr. In 11th is Cody McCorkle, last man to take a time. Hunter King and Tex Perry not taking a time on their qualifying session, on a qualifying run. So, unfortunate for them, but they are going to be starting the race regardless from the back of the grid. Unless they go out on track now. I don't think Hunter King can, because I don't think he's got any laps left. So, he will be starting on the back of the grid regardless. So 13 drivers set to take the green here. Not a bad number for a track like this. I mean, we could have a lot of wrecks if it was like 20 or maybe 30 drivers. That could be bad news for some drivers. But anyway, no Spencer Preek tonight. He couldn't make it. So he is going to be on the back foot going into the second race of round 2. When we go to Talladega next week. And I'm hoping my broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso, can make it for the broadcast because I want to be on track for that race. I really do. So, just under 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. As, yeah. James Bunt's in the live chat wishing everybody good luck. James, I hope to see you back soon, buddy. We're missing you out on track here. And, yeah, it'd be good to see the Miller machine out on track again. But with that, we move on to our next portion of the race broadcast when my mouse stops being a, you know what. So, with that, we are all that's left for me to ask is that you stand on your feet and put your hands to your hearts as we are going to go to tonight's national anthem. We are back here and ready for racing as the Catalyst Mint Series. Race 1 in round 2 is set to get underway here, so let's go to it, shall we? And let's go straight to our grid for the race. And starting up on the pole is none other than Mr. Kyle Gilbert, man in the 227, setting down a benchmark of 22.372. He'll be joined on the front row by Mr. Travis Brown. Row 2 will be Mark Arthur. And Tim Bills coming out of the Mid-South. Row 3 will be Doug Thompson and Brian McRae. Row 4 will be Marshall Newton and Tyler Vickery out of Florida. And row 5 will be AJ Rogers and Robert Hill Jr. Starting shotgun on the field. Well, in row 6 will be Cody McCorkle, and Hunter King had a difficult qualifying, so he'll be starting near the back as Tex Perry will round out your field of 13 drivers here tonight at Dover. So we have 200 laps here at Dover. It's going to be interesting to see how things shape up here as we're waiting for the field to roll off. I'm just doing some good old stuff here as we are going to focus in on Kyle Gilbert. There he is. As the field rolls off now. Making the way down the backstretch. There's only one lap around here. This is a mile-long oval. Take a look at the weather before we do go green. 73 degrees Fahrenheit and ambient air temperature. That gives us a track temperature of 92 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's partly cloudy out there. So a bit of sunshine, as you'd expect for Dover in Delaware. So here we go. 200 laps are about to get underway. First stage will be ending on lap 60. The field is in Kyle Gilbert's hands here as they make their way through turn 4. When is he going to get on the loud pedal here? And the answer is not just yet, and the green is out. We're underway. 200 laps here in the Major League Esports Catalyst Mint Series is underway, and Mark Arthur already darting to the inside of Tim Bills. Bills able to hold on for 4th place as Mark Arthur very close to the wall there coming out of turn 2. Tim Bills just behind him. Doug Thompson right there too. Brian McRae just behind him. And it's side by side with Marshall Newton. Newton's going to try and take away that 6th spot from McRae. He's got Robert Hill Jr. and AJ Rogers and Tyler Vickery right behind him. McRae able to hold on for now as Newton slots it in for 7th. Robert Hill Jr. going to take the position away from AJ Rogers and move into 8th place now. Tyler Vickery just rounds out your top 10, and already Tex Perry has moved up 2 spots. Now he's working on the 24 as they come out of turn 2. Into turn 3 and 4. Perry has the line, has the speed, and gets the position away from Vickery. Just to the back there is Cody McCorkle. Hunter King started from pit road and is already being caught by the lead pack here as Travis Brown keeping Kyle Gilbert very honest there. We're already circulating lap 4 of 200 here. About to go into lap 5 as they come out of turn 4. Kyle Gilbert almost getting it wrong. Almost dirt tracking it out of turn 4. Let's let Travis Brown stick with him for now. Mark Arthur's fallen a bit of a ways back. Under pressure now from Tim Bills, who's there in P4. So Hunter King said he got kicked out of his car and he had to miss the start. So that's why he started from pit road. Meanwhile, back at the front, Travis Brown still chasing down Kyle Gilbert, Mark Arthur and Tim Bills look like they're starting to close the gap now as Doug Thompson has a bit of a moment coming out of turn 4. Turn 2, sorry. No, it was turn 4. I always get the corners wrong on this track. A bit further back, Brian McRae still in the battle there with Marshall Newton and AJ Rogers, who's managed to get back around Robert Hill Jr. And Hill Jr. has fallen back into this scrap between Tyler Vickery, Tex Perry and Cody McCorkle. Hill Jr. able to stay ahead for now. Can Tyler Vickery do anything about the man in the 67? Marshall Newton, meanwhile, under attack from AJ Rogers as they come out of turn 4 and complete lap 8. AJ Rogers going to dive it to the bottom of the track there and take away P7. Good move there by the man in the 5. Question is, can Marshall Newton do anything about him and try and get back around him? At the moment, the answer is no, as AJ Rogers does get a bit of a wiggle coming out of 4. That has let Newton catch up to the back of him again. But not for long, as Newton's not able to maintain that run. Meanwhile, back towards second, and we've got a battle here for second place here. As Mark Arthur's going to dive into the inside of Travis Brown here, take away second place there. Good job we caught that one, as here comes Tim Bills now to the inside of Travis Brown. Oh, Bill's getting a wheel on the apron there. That's going to lose him a bit of speed, as Travis Brown able to hold on to third place for now. But Tim Bills getting loose out of 4. Still able to keep his foot in it though. They're still side by side as they go into turn 1. Great battle we're seeing here between the 0-1 and the 37 as they come out of turn 2. Who's going to win this little dice here as they go towards turn 3? Still side by side. As Tim Bills finally wins that little battle there, gets a bit of better speed coming out of 4 and takes away third place from Travis Brown now. Nice little battle between these guys. Kyle Gilbert's already stretched his lead out. Go a bit further back as we're still watching this battle between Robbie Hill Jr., Tyler Vickery and Tex Perry. Cody McCorkle's fallen a bit off the pace there. You see him there in the number 2 Comfort Products Ream number 2. Robbie Hill Jr. really did fall very quickly into the clutches of Vickery and Perry. Now Vickery going to look to the inside of Hill Jr. here as they come out of turn 4. But here's Tex Perry as well. Tyler Vickery's on that bottom line. They're very close though. Vickery has to back out of it. Tex Perry nearly runs Vickery over. As we've got problems for... No, we haven't got problems for AJ Rogers. We've got problems for Doug Thompson. As AJ Rogers has got around him and now he's working on the back of Brian McRae here. So AJ Rogers is on a bit of a charge right now. And the 5 is flying here. Meanwhile, Mark Arthur's managed to half the gap between himself and Kyle Gilbert. As they're closing in on Hunter King now. King all on his own there. It started from pit road, remember. And that's why they're catching him. Tim Bills is keeping Mark Arthur very honest here. Not letting him get away as they've managed to streak away from Travis Brown now, who sits there in P4. And Brian McRae not really closing the gap between himself and the 0-1, but he's got AJ Rogers to battle with right now. That might be why he's losing a bit of time. There is the man in the 5 in the Western Auto number 5. They've got away from Doug Thompson, who's now being caught by Marshall Newton now. Go back to this battle between Robert Hill Jr., Tyler Vickery and Tex Perry. Vickery gets very close to the wall coming out of turn 4. That's let Tex Perry onto the inside now. They're side by side as they go through 1 and 2. Vickery close to the wall again. Perry not going to win that little battle as there goes Vickery into P10 again. Tex Perry keeping him very, very wound up there. Battling him very hard. And that's what we like here on both broadcasting. The nice, tough battles there as we've got an incident here. Mark Arthur might be blinking out slightly. Someone's blinking anyway. As they're almost up to the back of Hunter King now. Kyle Gilbert able to hold on to the lead. His time is coming down very quickly. As Tyler Vickery's caught up to the back of Robbie Hill Jr. Going to dive into the inside there. Not going to make it work. Perry's right there too. Need to be careful. It's still early in the race. You can't be battling too hard right now as Vickery gets a wheel coming out of 4. And I am noticing the time between Gilbert and Arthur coming down very slightly as Gilbert actually gains another 10th on the 12. There goes Perry again to the inside, and Robbie Hill Jr. is coming down the track. Blocks his momentum there, but Tex Perry's still able to take away 10th place from Vickery. Going to try and take the position away from Robbie Hill Jr. as well as they're side by side coming out of turn 2. Perry not got the momentum here as Vickery tries to find a hole on the high side. Great battle we're seeing here as, oh no! Hill Jr. loses it on the exit of turn 4. Gets it going again. Can he save it? Get it going again. Goes down to the apron. But no, Cody McCorkle's going around as well. And that's going to bring out caution number 1 here. Let's go back and see what happened to Robert Hill Jr. Because he was the man that was that initially started the whole melee. See him there coming out of turn 4. And gets a bit wide, brushes the wall, that unsettles the car enough to put it into a spin. Back end of the car comes around. Cody McCorkle comes around trying to avoid the incident, loses the back end himself. And that puts him into a spin, does not hit anything. But it's enough to bring out the caution here. And we are under caution here. The lights are on the pace car. They've caught the pace car now. As Cody McCorkle falls a lap down now. He did not get going in enough time before the 227 got to him. And a relief for Hunter King though. As he's able to catch up to the back of the field now after that caution coming out. The leaders were right behind him, about to put him a lap down. That caution could not have come at a better time for the man in the 9. We've got Tyler Vickery blinking extremely badly right now. We've got some people stayed out. I believe that's Tex Perry that stayed out. Yes, it is. Cody McCorkle stayed out, obviously, because he wants to get that wave round, and he will if he stays out, but he's going to need to get some new tyres here as Kyle Gilbert there on pit road. He's going to win the race off pit road. And it's going to be Kyle Gilbert. Second off pit road will be Mark Arthur. Third will be Tim Bills, and fourth will be AJ Rogers. Actually, Tim Bills actually beat Mark Arthur off pit road, so good move there for the man in the 37. AJ Rogers and Brian McRae actually beating Travis Brown off pit road, so Brown having a bad pit stop there. Marshall Newton is there in 8th place. Tyler Vickery still blinking very badly, is in 9th. Doug Thompson in 10th. Hunter King in 11th. 12th is Robert Hill Jr. And rounding out the field there is Cody McCall, who brings it down pit road, so he's going to stay a lap down. Unfortunate there for the man in the 2. Meanwhile, they are under caution regardless, so we are going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more racing action. Do not go anywhere. And we're live back here at Dover. Lights have just gone out on the pace card, so that means we are going to be going back to racing very soon. Kyle Gilbert is your man at the point right now, with Tim Bills now in 2nd place, Mark Arthur in 3rd, AJ Rogers in 4th, Brian McRae sits in 5th, Travis Brown 6th, 7th is Tyler Vickery, 8th is Marshall Newton, no, 7th is Marshall Newton, 8th is Tyler Vickery, 9th is Doug Thompson, and rounding out your top 10 is Hunter King. And as I said before, Hunter King, a very lucky man, about to be lapped when the caution came out, so he's going to be breathing a sigh of relief. But the man at the front right now is Mr. Kyle Gilbert. He'll be looking to scamper away from these guys again, although he was being caught by Mark Arthur. So it'll be interesting to see how he can handle it this time round as the pace car peels off into pit road. Kyle Gilbert going to hold them down again as they come out of turn 4. How long will he hold them down for? Tim Bill's got a nose out in front there. And away we go. Green flag will be out this time by on lap 30 of 200. Good restart there for Gilbert, but even better one for Tim Bills. He's got that outside line going out of turn 2. Is he going to get the position away though? He does. Great move there by Tim Bills. He moves up to the lead now. Kyle Gilbert have to settle back down for 2nd as Travis Brown moves up to 3rd place, getting by AJ Rogers and a whole host of other drivers. Fantastic restart there by Travis Brown. AJ Rogers keeping him honest though as they come out of turn 2. Not able to get too close to him. Mark Arthur's fallen back to 5th place. Bad restart there by the man in the 12. Bit of a wiggle coming out of turn 4. We've seen the battle here between Brian McRae, Tyler Vickery and Hunter King now, who's finally got himself into a battle here. As the side-by-side again, Kyle Gilbert not giving up the position here. He wants that 1st place back as he dives to the inside of Tim Bills. Takes away the lead again. Bit of a wiggle coming out of turn 4, but manages to hold on. Bills fallen back to 2nd now. Travis Brown is right there as well now. As they're starting to gap us go. Gilbert goes around. Kyle Gilbert is around and caution number 2 is out. A few drivers caught up in that. Big incident there for the 227. Let's go back and see what happened there. He smacks the wall coming out of 4. Hits Mark Arthur. Hits Tyler Vickery. And big incident there. Let's take another look at that. It's actually coming out of 2, sorry, not out of 4. Seeing that run slightly wide there. Tap on the wall, just enough to send him around. Mark Arthur getting a big hit there as he goes over. Hunter King gets in that. Cody McCorkle manages to slow up just in time for that. Doug Thompson gets a big piece of that as well. Kyle Gilbert, obviously the cause of that. Robert Hill Jr. gets away with it. As Tyler Vickery. He's got some damage too. So Vickery, Tex Perry, Hunter King having to bring it down pit side. Cody McCorkle is back in pit road. No, he's not back in pit road, I apologise. So Vickery, Perry, Hunter King and Kyle Gilbert in pit road. The damage on that car. Doug Thompson's in pit road as well. I don't think he did get any piece of it, but he's in there anyway. That promotes Tim Bills up to the lead. And again, while we're under caution, we're going to have another break ourselves. We'll be right back. Back live at Dover International Speedway. Just want to pay a bit of attention to the Facebook chat before we do anything else. And have a good evening to Evan Pasoko. Good to see you in the chat. Gregory Arnold. Good to see you in the chat. Jason Anderson. And my mother's in the chat as well. So hello, Mother. Nice to see you tuning in for tonight's race. Interesting. Anyway, as... don't mind me, just playing with my overlay. Not sure why. There we go. As we're about to have the lights go off on the pace car, but big incident there, just to recap. Hello, Robert Dudley. Good to see you in the live chat as well. As big incident involving Kyle Gilbert there. He got a big incident coming out of turn 2, which is enough to unsettle the car. Big crash there for him, and an even bigger crash for Mark Arthur, who's unfortunately fallen 2 laps down after having to tow his machine. So your field as it stands right now, Tim Bills has the lead, Travis Brown sits in 2nd, AJ Rogers is in 3rd, Brian McRae is in 4th, Marshall Newton sits in, rounds out the top 5, I apologise. Tyler Vickery in 6th, Tex Perry in 7th, Hunter King is 8th, 9th is Kyle Gilbert, recovering from his incident, had to burn a fast repair, unfortunately. And rounding out the top 10 is Doug Thompson. As they make their way into turn 3 now. We're about to get them going again on lap 38 of 200. Let's see how they handle this restart. Let's see how Tim Bills handled the restart. First time he's going to lead them to the green here tonight, as Major League Esports Catalyst Mid-Series already heating up, and we're not even remotely a quarter of the way into the race yet. Pace cars off as they come out of turn 4. And Tim Bills gets him going again as Travis Brown gets it all wrong on the restart. And McRae's around. A lot of cars around on the restart. And caution is out again. And that was all started by Travis Brown getting very loose on the restart. Let's take another look at that. You see they're getting very squirrely there. McRae trying to avoid him. And everybody goes round. Hunter King involved again. And looks like Tyler Vickery's involved as well. Yes, he is. Let's take a look at it from Brian McRae's point of view. You see there, Travis Brown getting unsettled. Brian McRae spins the car to avoid him. Tyler Vickery nowhere to go. Tex Perry nowhere to go. Hunter King nowhere to go. So, big incident there on the restart. And not what you want to see in the early part of this race. Just got to keep it settled down on the restarts. But even so, that's helped Tim Bills. AJ Rogers is there up to second now after passing Travis Brown on the restart. Brown going to bring it down pit side for some fresh tyres. Yeah, very, very sketchy incident there between the drivers in the midfield and near the back. Brian McRae, a big hit for the man there. Tyler Vickery is in pit road as well. I wonder if he's already used the fast repair. He did get a hit off Kyle Gilbert during the second caution, so he will have got damage from that. Question is, did he use a fast repair though? Hunter King though, what a horrible race he's having so far. And he's not used a fast repair, so looks like he might be in pit road for a while as Marshall Newton comes out of pit road now. He did get a bit of the incident as well. Travis Brown going to come out as well. Tyler Vickery has not used a fast. He's already used his fast repair as well. Brian McRae uses his fast repair as he comes out of pit road now. But I digress. Back at the front, Tim Bills is your leader. AJ Rogers, a fantastic second place there from the man in the 5. Not used to seeing him up this high in the field, but he's up there, up in those lofty heights of second place. Kyle Gilbert already back up to third place. Already got a graze on the side of that 227 because of the start line incident there. Doug Thompson in 4th, and Cody McCorkle rounds out your top 5. And what a race he's had already. He was 1 lap down at the back of the field at one point, and he's already finding himself in the top 5 in the Ream number 2. He's got his teammate Robert Hill Jr. right next to him as well. So, interesting race we've seen so far. 3 cautions deep already. And we're only on lap 41 here. Tim Bills is your man in the lead. We're going to wait for the pace car to, for the lights to go off for the pace car. We will get some interviews underway very soon, as the race progresses, but I want to let them get a feel for the track and the car first, because looks like they're having trouble settling down for the second for the moment right now. So just want to get them a decent run in, and competition cautions will probably be reserved for the interviews. The lights are off on the pace car. They are 2x2 now as they make their way out of turn 2. They make the slow crawl up towards turn 3. Pacing speeds are quite slow around here compared to other tracks. I mean, the pit road speed is only 35 miles per hour, so that kind of gives you an indication of how slow they are pacing around here. You imagine if they were pacing this slow around Pocono or Indianapolis, that would be a nightmare. As there goes the pace car. Tim Bills has control of the field again. What can AJ Rogers do about the man in the 37 on this restart? Can anybody get a clean restart here as Tyler Vickery rejoins the back of the field as Bills holds them down? And away we go again. Everybody clean on the restart by the looks of things, and it's looking good as we're under green once again. And AJ Rogers able to stay ahead of Kyle Gilbert, who's all over the back of him already. Question is, who is going to get the advantage here, as we're looking at Robert Hill Jr. just ahead of Doug Thompson. Marshall Newton there in 7th place. Hunter King looks like he did use a fast repair, so that's good. So with a clean car again, he is chasing down Marshall Newton now. Tim Bills, meanwhile, already extended his lead out to half a second ahead of Kyle Gilbert, who's gone around AJ Rogers now. So he's up to 2nd place. Can he close in on the 37 now, so they can resume hostilities like they did before he had that horrible crash to bring out the 2nd caution? A bit further back, Cody McCorkle having a huge battle there with Robert Hill Jr. Doug Thompson's going to make a dive to the inside there as they come out of turn 2. Is he going to get the advantage there as they go into 3? No, Cody McCorkle's still got a nose out from Doug Thompson. Much bigger speed out of turn 4. And he's going to take away 4th place. Just cuts off the nose there of Cody McCorkle. As here comes Marshall Newton now to the inside of Robert Hill Jr. Takes the position away from him. Is he going to get a 2 for 1 here on Cody McCorkle? He is. Takes away 5th place. And here goes Travis Brown as well. We've got another one making the move here. Brown moves up to 6th. Moves around Marshall Newton as well for good measure. And now Travis Brown up to the top 5. Positions changing every single corner here as Brian McRae almost gets into the wall behind him. Very close between those two. But for now, Doug Thompson is the man up in for 4th place. Tim Bills is losing time to Kyle Gilbert. Gilbert has finally got around AJ Rogers, as I already mentioned on the previous lap. Now looks to sail and close the gap between himself and Bills. But Bills still running very well now. Actually gained another 10th there on Kyle Gilbert as he hits the wall again, coming out of 2. More dramas through that corner for the man in the 227. Loses another 0.2 of a second to Tim Bills here. We're closing in on the end of stage 1. And that's not what you want to see from the 227 as he getting very friendly with the wall there. AJ Rogers has managed to reel him back in again. He's right on his tail. While all that's happening, they've managed to reel himself, get away from Doug Thompson, who's under pressure from Travis Brown. Brown going to dive it to the inside there. Side by side as they come out of turn 4. Who's going to get the advantage here? Travis Brown takes it on the inside line and moves up to P4. Great moves there by the man in the 0-1. Great recovery drive by him as he almost hits the wall coming out of turn 2. That's been Calamity Corner here tonight. As now Doug Thompson under pressure from Marshall Newton. I wonder if Doug Thompson's burned off those tyres already. It's 16 laps on those tyres, so they can't be too bad compared to the likes of Tim Bills and AJ Rogers, who are on 24 lap old tyres. Marshall Newton there right behind the 13 now as they come out of turn 4. Doug Thompson really struggling now as there goes Newton to the inside of Thompson. Is he going to take away the position as well? He's on much fresher tyres than the 13, so you'd think he would. As there goes Marshall Newton diving it to the inside. Doug Thompson going to get better speed through 3 and 4 and keeps the position quite dramatically there. As while all this is going on, Brian McRae's starting to close the gap between himself and the 2 cars in front of him, so we might have a 3-car battle here for the top 5 very soon. As Hunter King is back on pit road again, not sure what's happened to him. We'll find out in a minute. He's got more damage on that car, so I'm guessing he must have hit the wall in a big way. Meanwhile, back in the front, Tim Bills able to still keep the gap between himself and Kyle Gilbert at 0.6 of a second. Make that half a second now. As Gilbert trying to get the momentum back as AJ Rogers very close to the wall as it comes out of 4. Very good run for the man in the 5. Travis Brown all by himself, but is closing in on the battle now between Rogers and Gilbert. Doug Thompson still under pressure from Marshall Newton now as they come out of turn 2. Can Newton finally get the move done on Doug Thompson? Is a bit far back this time round. Can he close the gap again though? Because he's got Brian McRae getting very close to the back of him now as they come out of 4. And we're getting very close to the end of stage 1 as there goes Marshall Newton now to the inside of Doug Thompson. He's going to strike again here as they come out of turn 2. Oh, Doug Thompson's in the wall. And in the wall again. He's got to back out of it. He can't keep his foot in it. As Marshall Newton got some nose out in front. Doug Thompson got some speed. He's going to lose a bit of speed now because of that damage. And there goes Brian McRae now up to the 6th spot. Doug Thompson in trouble now with the right front damage on his car. That is going to bleed a lot of speed for the 13. Marshall Newton now up to the top 5. He can't sit back though. Brian McRae is right there and is looking to challenge him at the first moment's notice. If Marshall Newton makes a mistake, Brian McRae is going to be right there. Marshall Newton actually starting to get away from Brian McRae now. McRae actually losing a bit of time to the man in the 76. Let's go back a bit further now. Take a look at Cody McCorkle. He did start up there. He's fallen back to P8 now. Just ahead of his teammate Robert Hill Jr. there in the 67. Tex Perry still with that bit of damage on his car. He's back in P10. Tyler Vickery in 11th. Mark Arthur still 1 lap down. He is in 12th, and Hunter King's been on pit road for over 5 minutes now, so serious damage on that number 9. Meanwhile, back at the front, we're still watching this battle for the lead here as Carl Gilbert actually starting to reel him in slightly now. Got the gap down to 0.4 of a second. They're not resting on his laurels, but then again, he does still have AJ Rogers right on his down. You see in the background there, that is Travis Brown. He's starting to try and close the gap between himself and the 5. Brian McRae managed the gap between himself and Marshall Newton as the caution comes out for the end of stage 1. So let's go through our stage results as they are right now. Tim Bills is going to be the winner of stage 1. Kyle Gilbert comes up in 2nd. AJ Rogers 3rd. Travis Brown 4th. Brian McRae in 5th. Marshall Newton in 6th. 7th is Doug Thompson. 8th Cody McCorkle. 9th is Robert Hill Jr. And rounding out the top 10 is Tex Perry with a very damaged number 85 Dodge sponsored car. Well, that is going to be it for stage 1. We're going to take another quick break here and we'll be back very quickly for stage 2. You're not going away. You're not going to miss any of the action.
And he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Trunkgate goes off. De Jong into 2nd place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Venner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that 2nd spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we are back live here at Dover International Speedway. We're about to get stage 2 underway here at Dover. I've already mentioned that we're at Dover, but anyway, live on both broadcasting. This is Major League eSports Series Catalyst Mint Series as they're making their way out of turn 2. Lights are off on the pace car. It's going to be AJ Rogers that brings us back to green here. Managed to get the pass on Tim Bills in pit road. Tim Bills an extra couple of seconds there in his pit stall. Not sure why. With the competition caution coming out as well, that let Mark Arthur come back on pit road as well. Oh, come back on the lead lap, sorry. Damn it. As they come out of turn 4 now, pace car is off and away we go! Stage 2 is underway here! Tim Bill's getting a very good restart there, and AJ Rogers still alongside him, and Tim Bill's going to get a much better drag into turn 1 and 2 as he takes away the lead there, and already AJ Rogers is under pressure from Travis Brown here as they go into turn 3. And Travis Brown takes away second place there. Bad restart there for the 5 as here comes Tex Perry now. Where did he come from? He's going to try and make a name for himself here. He's used his fast repair now. He's right on the tail of Travis Brown and AJ Rogers as they come out of turn 2. Doug Thompson is right there as well, and Carl Gilbert, after falling back to 6th place, is there in P6. Cody Corkle in 7th. 8th is Marshall Newton. 9th is Mark Arthur after getting his lap back on the caution. Robbie Hill Jr. tags the wall coming out of turn 4. Turn 2, sorry. Yeah, turn 4. I was right. The only track I ever get these corners on. I said that before. Anyway, still watching all this action there. Cody McCorkle gets a bit of a moment coming out of turn 4 there. He's going to be under pressure from Marshall Newton now. Newton going to dive it to the inside. They're going to be side by side as they come out of turn 2. And Newton not going to take it away, but he's under pressure from Brian McRae and Mark Arthur. Arthur going to dive it to the inside of McRae there as they come out of turn 4. Who's going to win it? That's Mark Arthur that takes away 9th position. Meanwhile, AJ Rogers still under pressure there for 3rd place from Tex Perry. And at the same time, Travis Brown is starting to try and reel in Tim Bills here. As we are turning lap 72 of 200 already. Very quickly approaching that halfway point. As Hunter King is back on pit road again. 23 laps down now for the man in the 9. Very bad night here tonight for the man, for that gentleman. It's Cody McCorkle. Finally falls behind one of the drivers behind him. That was Brian McRae that's just passed him. And Marshall Newton is there as well to capitalise if needs be. Mark Arthur already moved up to P7 now. And now he's going to be giving chase to Doug Thompson, who's just 2.5 seconds up the road. Cody McCorkle there, leading a pack of cars behind him, as there goes Marshall Newton to the inside of McCorkle. Tyler Vickery at the same time going to put a pass on Robert Hill Jr. The side-by-side as they come out of turn 1, and Vickery almost loses the back end there. Manages to save it, but that's lost him a ton of time. McCorkle, meanwhile, has lost the position to Marshall Newton. And now is under threat from Robert Hill Jr. So McCorkle down to P10 now. Travis Brown under pressure from AJ Rogers. Rogers has managed to close the gap now, and Rogers has got the inside line as they come out of turn 2. Still side by side as they go through 3 and 4. And Rogers is going to take away second place here, and he does. Oh, big wiggle coming out of 4 though. That's going to let Travis Brown get back in there. Or is he? No, he just slots in right behind for third place. Tex Perry, meanwhile, has fallen behind Kyle Gilbert now. He must have had a moment at some point, because he was all over the back of AJ Rogers at one point. He falls back to 5th place, and he's okay for now. He's 1.7 seconds ahead of Doug Thompson, who's trying his best to try and hold the gap between himself and Mark Arthur. Arthur closing in on him and cutting through that gap like a hot knife through butter. Robert Hill Jr. still behind Cody McCorkle there for battling for that top 10 spot. Going to try and dive into the inside, not going to make it work this time round. We're on lap 80 of 200 now. Tim Bills is still your leader, half a second up the road ahead of AJ Rogers now. Has actually put a gap between himself and Travis Brown, who sits there in 3rd. Kyle Gilbert still in 4th place, possibly saving the tyres now. Doesn't want to get into too much drama. He's already had enough drama for one night, as Tex Perry is right behind him still, not letting him get away. As now Mark Arthur has caught Doug Thompson, dives to the inside of the 13 and takes away 6th place. Can he close the gap between himself and Tex Perry now? Arthur has been on fire since he got back on the lead lap. Not literally, because that would be a bad thing, but you know. Ryan McRae back there in P number 8, sorry. He's just having a nice quiet race to himself, and Marshall Newton is there by himself too. Robert Hill Jr. has finally got around Cody McCorkle for 10th place. And Tyler Vickery has fallen well off the pace there after that little moment he had a few laps ago. He is back there in P12. And Hunter King still sitting on pit road there. Unfortunately, not having the best of nights, as AJ Rogers still trying to close that gap between himself and Tim Bills. Would love to get his first ever stage win here. Not able to close the gap though, too much. Speaking of closing gaps though, Mark Arthur has cut another 0.4 of a second off the gap between himself and Tex Perry. The gap now is 1.4 seconds. Tex Perry still keeping Kyle Gilbert honest. He's 0.6 of a second back. I apologise, not really much battling to talk about here as finally Hunter King makes his way back out of pit road. Can he keep it in a straight line this time? Sorry, Hunter, you're just having a bad night tonight. As there goes Tim Bills to put another lap on him. 37 laps down now is Mr. Bills. There's Mr. Hunter King. That guy, yeah. Tex Perry still there, but Mark Arthur's right there as well. And he's going to put another lap on Hunter King as well. Didn't really anticipate where King was going as Tyler Vickery's got a blown up engine. Not sure what's happened to him as the caution is out again. Let's take another look there. Smacks the outside wall into the inside wall, and that is going to do it for Tyler Vickery's race, unfortunately. Lots of smoke coming out the back of that engine. Oh, the back of that car, sorry. The engine in the front, actually, but yeah. The Vickery, not a happy man. As Vickery having an angry moment there, so not sure what's going on there. I don't think he realises he's got a ton of smoke coming out the back of his car. Someone in the race control booth needs to kind of point that out to him, because he's going to be creating a smoke screen around the track. Meanwhile, on pit road, everybody's brought it down pit road now. As Mark Arthur overshoots his pit box there. That's not going to be good for his recovery here. Everybody getting them going. Is AJ Rogers going to beat Tim Bills out of pit road? No, he's not. Is he going to beat Travis Brown? No, he doesn't. I don't even know if he beat Kyle Gilbert. He did just about, but Travis Brown beating him off pit road by literally millimetres, I'm going to say. Tyler Vickery there, still circulating with the smoking gun. While we're here, we're going to speak to somebody here after they've made their pit stops. Let's talk to our good old friend, Mr. Maybe not. Let's talk to Mr. Mark Arthur as we are going through the caution here. Mark, Sam up in the booth, you got me, sir?
I got you, Sam.
One hell of a recovery drive you're having so far. Fell 2 laps down at one point after that incident with Kyle Gilbert. How's she running out there right now?
It feels pretty good. Just a little bit loose. I think everybody's fighting that problem. I think I was running speeds comparable to the leaders there right before this last caution, but I don't know. Track's real slick, pretty loose. Everybody's fighting that issue, but hopefully I can get back up there and battle them.
Yeah, and you're having one hell of a battle. You're passing people like they're standing still right now. Fell a bit further back, obviously, because you had a bit of a moment in pit road, slid through your pit stall, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get those positions back. And once you do get to the front, what do you reckon you got for these leaders here?
Well, I fell back because I was 2 laps down, and I got 1 lap back, and then it was going to the stage, so I knew I'd get that other lap back if I just, was pretty safe. So I fell way back from the back in case they started wrecking. I didn't want to slide tires into people, but I don't know. I think I'm pretty competitive for a top 3 if I can get back up there without damage. But, Tim Bills and AJ's pretty fast up there. I don't know. Hopefully we can do something with them.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, just going to throw you back up to your race room there. Good luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully, yeah, you can make it back to the front pretty soon.
Thanks, Sam.
As that was our man in the number 12 there. You see him in his cockpit there, just out on the outside of Tex Perry there. as he is circulating around the track, getting ready to get things going again. As the lights are off on the pace car. And I don't know what I'm doing. I never do. So we're waiting for things to get underway here. Lights are off on the pace car. Tim Bills is going to be the man to bring everybody to green again. As there goes the pace car. Waiting for Tim Bills to get them going again. He does like to go midway through the corner. Well, somewhat midway through the corner. Waiting for him to get them going. And away we go. We're back on the green again. Everybody getting away safely this time around. Got to be careful on those restarts. As we saw what happened with Travis Brown and Brian McRae earlier. But great restart there by Tim Bills. AJ Rogers getting up to second place there. Getting a brilliant jump there on Travis Brown. Brian McRae getting into the wall back there. As there goes Doug Thompson to his inside. Cody McCorkle did try and move, but had to back out of it. Travis Brown back up to second place there as Kyle Gilbert is trying to put his hat into the ring here as he goes to the inside of AJ Rogers. Going to try and take away third place. Doesn't make it work this time. Mark Arthur is up to fourth place here. Being chased very hard by Tex Perry. And Doug Thompson just there right behind him. While we're all battling it out here, we're going to go to a quick crank it up cam. We'll be right back as we go. Bofa, crank it up. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'll come back down because we just got caution number 6 here. And that involved AJ Rogers there. Big incident there for the man in the 5. Let's take another look at that. As, oh, the car twitched midway through the corner, got into a big slide. And got into it in a big way. And Tyler Vickery caught it again. But AJ Rogers sliding on his lid there. Marshall Newton involved. Doug Thompson involved. Robert Hill Jr. involved. Hunter King involved again. Will you guys leave him alone? My God. That guy just cannot catch a break right now. But AJ Rogers is on pit road, I believe. Yeah, he is. He's 1 lap down. Tyler Vickery still 1 lap down. Didn't get the lucky dog because he did get a bit of a hit from that Marshall Newton with the smoking gun. He is struggling to even turn it into the corners right now. Completely knocked the steering arm out of that car. So we're under caution number 6 here, and we're not even halfway yet, so lots of action here. Big incident there involving AJ Rogers, though. Unfortunate because he was having such a fantastic run here tonight. As that is Tex Perry just coming out of pit road there. Kyle Gilbert coming out of pit road as well as Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur up to 3rd place now, so not bad for the man in the 12 here. He did say he was going to try and make his way up to the front, and he's actually doing that so far. Marshall Newton still repairing damage on pit road here. He's about to go a 2nd lap down here. AJ Rogers is still in pit road, I believe. Yes, he is. Towing that car. He's going to fall another lap down here. As there goes Tim Bills. So while they're under caution, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Do not go anywhere.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover. The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Making sure they won't pull up. Almost in intersection.
We're live back here at Dover. We're about to get them going again. Tim Bills is still your leader here. He's led 63 laps here at Dover. And he's going to bring them back to green here on lap 98 of 200. Round turn 4. He's got Mark Arthur to his outside after Travis Brown made a late pit stop. And away we go again. Mark Arthur getting off to a difficult start there. That's led Kyle Gilbert to his inside there. And Gilbert takes away second place. Mark Arthur down to third now. Tex Perry is in fourth. And Brian McRae up to fifth. Problem is Travis Brown on the freshest tyres out of everybody. He's going to make his way through the field now. Puts a pass on Robbie Hill Jr. Hill Jr. gets it to the wall. That's going to let Doug Thompson down to the inside. As we've got another caution here. And that's Mark Arthur. Take a look here. It looks like it was Kyle Gilbert who took the lead, as looks like there was a bit of an incident there between Tex Perry. Arthur tried to control it, got slammed it into the side by Doug Thompson. Marshall Newton gets another hit as well. It looks like Tyler Vickery again. Did he get a hit out of it? No, he backs right off, and rightly so. The Mark Arthur, Marshall Newton, Doug Thompson, Robert Hill Jr. by the looks of things got into it as well. Yeah, you see that left front damage on his car. So, as things stand right now, Tyler Vickery should get the lucky dog here. And he does. Away he goes. The Vickery back on the lead lap now. Good to see. And Brian McRae promoted to the lead after Tim Bills brings it down pit road. Most people bring it down pit road, actually. As there goes Tex Perry. Kyle Gilbert going to beat Tim Bills off pit road. Travis Brown, the next one out of pit road. Mark Arthur. He already burned his fast repair. He might have a bit of trouble here. You see in the background, Cody McCorkle is there as well. AJ Rogers is back out on track, but he's 3 laps down here. And what could have been for that man? Tyler Vickery up to P6, but he will have an EOL for taking the lucky dog, but he's going to bring a pit side first. Again, rightly so. Guess that car wound down to 35 miles per hour. Into his pit stall very nicely. And while back at the front there, we've got Brian McRae in the lead now. He inherited the lead after staying out. He's 7 laps on his tyres compared to everybody else who has pitted. Marshall Newton, it's really come unstuck for that man in the number 76 right now. Been involved in the last 2 cautions in a big way. And unfortunately, that's put him on the back foot here. Brian McRae there in the lead. Tex Perry inherited second place. He only took 2 tyres this time, though. So, might be very interesting to see how that pans out for the man in the 85. Tyler Vickery brings it down pit road again. Right behind Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur able to stay on the lead lap. So, good for him as the lights are off on the pace car again. And we're going to get them going. Question is, for how long? We've not seen green flag pit stops yet. That would be nice to see. Let's see how Brian McRae handles the restarts now as he leads from the front for the first time tonight. The rookie in the number 35 against the league owner and VIP of the league, Mr. Tex Perry's pace car's off. We're going to get them going again. Brian McRae at the front and rolls into it, gets them going. Kyle Gilbert goes with them. Tex Perry after a horrendous start there. That outside line on the restarts seems to be the troublesome starting position here. Is Kyle Gilbert going to power it round the outside of Brian McRae as they come out of turn 2 and takes away the lead. Here comes Travis Brown as well. Is he going to make the move stick? Is not making it look as easy as Kyle Gilbert did. But he's going to try and get it done, and he does. Travis Brown up to second place now. Next man to catch Brian McRae will be Tex Perry, but he only took 2 tyres on the last pit stop. Tim Bills is behind him. He fell to 5th place after those pit stops. So the man that's led the most laps, he's fallen to the tail end of the top 5. As there goes Tex Perry to the inside of McRae now. We're focusing on this battle before we go to a crank it up, any kind of a crank it up cam here. McRae able to stay ahead for now. As all very close out of turn 4, almost tagging the wall, getting very sideways. Dirt tracking it, if you will. Tim Bill's going to try and put a pass on Tex Perry now. Come towards turn 3. Not going to make the move stick this time round. Meanwhile, further back, we've got Cody McCorkle leading a whole gaggle of cars here. McCorkle getting it all wrong out of turn 4 there. That's going to let Robert Hill Jr. to the inside. McCorkle goes very high, almost comes down and gets it to the side of Tyler Vickery. Vickery a bit squirrely coming out of turn 2. Able to keep it going though. He's got Mark Arthur right behind him. Arthur has a very damaged car, whereas Tyler Vickery does not. As Vickery going to try and dive it to the inside of McCorkle. McCorkle fends him off. Or does he? Stays it very high. Keeps it in the middle lane. That's let Tyler Vickery take that gap away. As he comes towards turn 3 now, he's going to take it away from McCorkle, and he does. Tyler Vickery now up to P7 now. Meanwhile, a bit further up, Brian McRae still in 3rd place. As Tim Bills has got around Tex Perry now. And we're closing in on the end of stage 2. And Kyle Gilbert still 0.2 of a second ahead of Travis Brown, but Travis Brown not letting him get away. As Gilbert very close to the wall as he comes out of 2. Still very close between the battle for 1st and the battle for 3rd here. As Tim Bills is going to try and put a move on Brian McRae, or does he? No, he doesn't. Still sticking behind the 35 here as they come out of turn 2. On lap 112 out of 200 here. It's already been a caution-filled race. As Tyler Vickery looks like he's put it behind the wall, maybe? Oh no, his connection dropped. Oh, that's going to be a heartbreak for the man in the 24. He was having such a great recovery drive there, and he just absolutely gave up. And meanwhile, back on the front, Kyle Gilbert still got a 0.3 of a second gap over Travis Brown. Tim Bills now up to 3rd place after passing Brian McRae. McRae, those older tyres starting to give up the ghost now as here comes Tex Perry. Going to try the inside line on the 35. Blocks him off there, does McRae. Perry really trying to get round him, trying to find a gap, trying to find a gap anywhere. McRae blocking his nose off though, as there was a mistake by McRae. That's let Tex Perry to the inside now. He's got the gap there, but McRae cuts his nose off again as they go through 3 and 4. This is letting AJ Rogers catch up to him, but obviously remember he's 3 laps down, so he's not really a factor in this at the moment. Doug Thompson's fallen to 13 laps down after that incident with Mark Arthur. Kyle Gilbert's still your leader now. He's half a second up the road from Travis Brown. Tim Bills is there now over a second and a half ahead of McRae. Still battling it out there with Tex Perry. Perry's backed off slightly. Just can't seem to find a hole past the 35. And now AJ Rogers right on the back of the 85. Remember, 3 laps down. Oh, McRae getting very squirrely coming out of 2 there. That's going to let Tex Perry dive to the inside. And he might actually have him this time. He does. He gets the gap. The side-by-side as they come out of 4. Can Tex Perry take the position away finally from Brian McRae? And he does. Finally got around the 35. Great move there by Tex Perry. Up to P4 now. And AJ Rogers taking... Oh, as AJ Rogers goes into the wall! In a big way. Caution comes out. Let's take another look at that. That looked pretty sketchy to me. Went out of turn 2. Oh. Bit of chrome horn action there. Look at it from the box. No, not the box. Nice guy. Yeah, you see it there. It looks like Brian McRae got into the side of him and turned him. AJ Rogers is back up and running though, with another damaged machine though. Kyle Gilbert going to bring him back down pit road meanwhile. And while they're doing that, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back with more racing action. Do not go anywhere, as yep, that is the end of caution. That is the end of stage 2. Before we do that, we will go to our... Oh, it's Tyler Vickery's back. Good to see him back. We will go to our stage results here, as Kyle Gilbert going to win the stage. Travis Brown 2nd, Tim Bills in 3rd, Tex Perry 4th, 5th is Brian McRae, 6th is Mark Arthur, 7th Robert Hill Jr., 8th Cody McCorkle, 9th is Marshall Newton, and right out of the top 10 is AJ Rogers, albeit 3 laps down, probably a couple more now. Yep, that's going to do it here for stage 2. We'll be right back with more racing action. Don't go anywhere.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
We're back here live at Dover as we are 1 lap to green before the start of the final stage here at Dover. Kyle Gilbert does have the lead here, going towards the line. And I want to give a special shout out to someone, Mr. Pat Workman. This restart is for you, sir. Was told to give you a shout out, so here we are. Shout out for Pat Workman as we are underway again. Very sketchy restart, especially with Tim Bills. Gets dragged back there on the restart. That's led Travis Brown up to second. That's led Brian McRae trying to take away third place, but Tim Bills recovers there and holds on to third place. But McRae up to fourth. Tex Perry in fifth and Robert Hill Jr. in sixth place. As Tyler Vickery's connection has dropped again. And while we're under action again, let's finally go to a Crank It Up cam, shall we? As both the broadcasting goes, crank it up. I'm still watching Tim Bills here, still in third place. Brian McRae, meanwhile, is under massive attack from Tex Perry right now for that fourth spot. And he's hoping to get around him here. This battle has been raging on for quite a while now between Perry and McRae. And a big hello to Mary Kate Cook. She's watching every night that we're broadcasting. So big shout out to Mary Kate Cook. That's watching our broadcast tonight. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight. As we're still watching this battle between McRae and Perry here for 4th place. Not really any other battle to speak of apart from there's one between Travis Brown and Kyle Gilbert for the lead. Gap is currently at 0.4 of a second between the 227 and the 0-1 right now. There's Kyle Gilbert, your leader. Brian McRae and Tex Perry still battling out for that 4th spot. Tim Bills has got some very clean air right now as he is actually closing in on the battle between Brown and Gilbert. Cody McCorkle there right behind Mark Arthur. Arthur recovering after a couple of incidents here tonight. So Mark Arthur in 7th place. Brian McRae and Tex Perry still duking it out there for the 4th spot. We're on lap 134 out of 200 here. There's no more stage cautions here, so it's a straight run to the end now. Question is, who's going to come out on top here? Tyler Vickery is out again after more connection problems. AJ Rogers back in pit road again with more damage there. Gilbert is still your leader now. 0.8 of a second ahead of Travis Brown. Has fallen into the clutches of Tim Bills now. To the inside goes Bills and takes away 2nd place. A good move there by the man in the 37. As they're putting another lap on Doug Thompson right now. 15 laps down for the 13. Stays up high to get out of the way. Lots of damage on that chicken pit number 13. And while this battle between McRae and Perry still rumbling on here. As Tex Perry again cannot find a way past him. Gets a running him coming out of turn 4 though, and he's going to try the bottom line, and just like he did before, McRae going to try and block him off there, and he does. Keeps hold of the position again coming out of 2. We've seen this battle rumble before between McRae and Perry. A bit further back, Robert Hill Jr. under pressure from Mark Arthur now. And almost banging wheels. It looks like they've got a big donut in the side of their cars. As Arthur finally gets around Robert Hill Jr. and moves up to 6th place. Tex Perry, meanwhile, side by side with Brian McRae. Can he finally get the position? He's got a nose out in front there as he comes out of turn 2 into turn 3 and makes the move look that easy in the end. A good move there for Tex Perry. He moves up to 4th place now. Meanwhile, back at the front, Tim Bills is actually reeling in Kyle Gilbert. And we're going to have a battle for the lead here. And a win here for Gilbert would advance him into into the next round. So he needs to kind of keep his wits about him and try and stay ahead of Tim Bills if he can. Very solid there coming out of turn 4, but Tim Bills is right there. The 37 eager to get back up to the top spot here. Kyle Gilbert, I think, has taken over as most laps led here. Bill's very close to the wall as they come out of 2. Still right behind him as they go through 3 and 4. Bills just can't, just like Tex Perry did with Brian McRae, cannot find a hole past Kyle Gilbert as Gilbert trying to make that car as wide as possible through the corners. Seems to stick to that bottom line as Bills takes the high line to go through there. Both cars able to make it through there safely. Travis Brown speaking of safely, Travis Brown very safely in 3rd place right now. 3 seconds to the good over Tex Perry. Who's in 4th. Brian McRae is 6 seconds to the good over Mark Arthur in 5th. There is Arthur after passing Robert Hill Jr. who's already 3 seconds to the good over the man in the 67. And Cody McCorkle not too far behind Robert Hill Jr. there. Less than a second now, the gap between the 2 and the 67. As McCorkle gets a bit of a rub on the wall. Marshall Newton right there, he's a lap down, unfortunately. After being involved in so many incidents, it's unreal. Let's go back to the battle for the lead, though. Tim Bills still unable to find a gap past Kyle Gilbert here. Can he find a gap past us? Looks like Gilbert actually brushed the wall there going into turn 3. That's going to give more momentum to Bills as they come out of 4. Bills going to try the outside line. Gilbert fends him off. Great defending there by the man in the 227. Wasn't so much of a block. It was just more like a position change there just to fend him off. It's a good defending there by him. Everybody's stretched out right now. This is the only battle out on track. It's probably the best battle because it's for the lead. Let's see how it shakes everything up once green flag pit stops do come around. And they will. As there goes Tim Bills. He finally finds a gap on the inside there. They're side by side as they come out of turn 4. Bill's got a nose out in front. He gets a bit of a wiggle though. The side by side is going to go across the line. Give that one to Tim Bills though. Door to door there as they go through 1 and 2. Can Tim Bills win that? Says that Gilbert gets a momentum. Big run on the outside there. Still side by side. Still right there as they've been side by side for a whole lap and Mark Arthur's around. Is that Mark Arthur? No, it's Robert Hill Jr., sorry. Caution number 9 is out there and we've just been robbed of a huge battle there between Gilbert and Bills. Gilbert able to hold on for 1st place though. Just able to hold on when the caution came out. Bills actually dropped back 3 seconds there at the end. Let's go back and see what happened to Robert Hill Jr. though. Coming out of turn 4, got it all sideways and just could not get the car back under control again. McCorkle hits the wall. Slight tap on the wall there for Robert Hill Jr. Won't be too bad about that as he gets it going again. But we're under caution number 9 here at Dover as Gilbert finds his place behind the pace car. As Tex Perry is in pit road now. No, yes he is. Brian McRae is there. Travis Brown is in. Tim Bills is in. Cody McCorkle is in. Probably to repair a bit more damage. As Tex Perry is down and away. Travis Brown is down and away. Tim Bills has lost 2 positions here in the pit stops. Marshall Newton back on the lead lap now. That's what he wanted. And I have to fall back a bit now. Kyle Gilbert shocking everybody by staying out though. 31 laps on those tyres. As he brings it down pit road now. So he's going to lose first place to Travis Brown there. Tex Perry's going to move up to second. Tim Bills is in third again now. Kyle Gilbert going to fall back a bit now through the pack. Let's see Mark Arthur. That's not Mark Arthur. Is it? I don't know. Robert Hill Jr. No, it's Mark Arthur. Confusing paint schemes. There's different paint schemes, but they're very similar from a distance. Either that, I just need to get my eyes tested again. So, under caution number 9 here. Pit stops have already been made. Travis Brown is there in the lead. Tex Perry is in second. And we're going to grab an interview with somebody. Who shall we speak to? Talk to Mr. Kyle Gilbert. Kyle, Sam up in the booth. You got me, sir?
I gotcha.
Kyle, very interesting pit stop strategy there. You stayed out for an extra lap. Looks like you're bringing it down pit road again. Is there some strategy behind this?
No, it wasn't a strategy. I didn't slow down for the pace car fast enough and pass the pit road entrance and didn't get to pit with the rest of them. But it might help me here. If we go green the rest of the way, I'll go the rest of the way. That's why I'm pitting again right here. Get a little more gas.
I bet you were angry when the caution came out there because you were having one intense battle with Tim Bills just then. Just talk us through that. You were side by side for 2 laps there. That must have been fun.
Yeah, I made a little mistake on the exit of a turn there, and he got to my inside coming out of the turn, and I managed to pinch him down there, trying to race him. Thankfully, he raced me pretty clean, and he did race me clean, and didn't get into me, and I was able to stay in front of him until the caution came out.
Yeah, and it's been pretty much a race of attrition here. We've had a few incidents here, especially one on a restart, which was very scary. But for the rest of the race, it looks like it's pretty plain sailing for most people. Starting a bit further back in the field. Oh, so you're going back to green again. I'm sorry. I'll let you go back to green. And,
I didn't even realize it either.
Enjoy the rest of the race, and we'll hopefully see you back and talk to you after the race.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, as we're back under green again. I didn't even realise we were back under green. Travis Brown in the lead. That must have annoyed Kyle Gilbert. I didn't even know we were going back to green. That was weird. As there is Kyle Gilbert there. He is trying to catch up to the back of Mark Arthur there, who's putting Robert Hill Jr. under pressure. Marshall Newton now back on the lead lap. He's right behind Brian McRae. As Mark Arthur just passes Marshall Newton like he's not even there. Meanwhile, Cody McCorkle up to 4th place. He's got Brian McRae just ahead of him. And he's putting him under pressure. Mark Arthur's right there as well. Kyle Gilbert getting past Marshall Newton as well now. So Gilbert on the move. He's already up to the back of McCorkle here. McCorkle finally used his fast repair. There goes Gilbert diving into the inside there of the 2. And moves up to 6th place now. His next victim will be Mark Arthur. Oh, Tex Perry in a big trouble. That's brought out another caution here. What happened to Perry is he just absolutely punted Brian McRae. Take another look at that. Coming out of turn 2 there. Into turn 3. see what happened here. It's just a very strange incident, especially for Tex Perry. Gets it all loose coming out of turn 4, slams the wall, goes to the bottom of the track, tries to recover it again, but goes straight on the track again, and Brian McRae right there, nowhere to go, victim of circumstance, and Tex Perry, big crash there for the man in the 85, and thank God this is a simulator, because if that was real life, that would have hurt. You see the intense damage on Tex Perry's car right now. Wow. I'm going to take another look at that. Take a look at it from the cockpit from Brian McRae there. Coming out of turn 4, you see Tex Perry getting it all wrong out of turn 4 in front of him, and you just don't see it, and then there it is, McRae going for a very, very hectic ride there. Take a look at it from Tex Perry's point of view. He's behind Tim Bills there, he's actually trying to put Bills under pressure as they go towards turn 3. And it looks like he got a wheel on the apron. That unsettled the car enough for it to be as bad as it was. Into the wall. Had no steer. Knocked this complete steering out of that and hit Brian McRae in the process. Wow. So that hit on the right hand side was enough to knock the steering arm out of that Dodge number 85. And that unfortunately has took him to pit road. Meanwhile, Travis Brown is your leader here. Tim Bills is in second. Carl Gilbert in third. We're going to step away for another break here. We'll be right back with more racing action. Don't go anywhere.
And he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing
race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
slide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we're live back here at Dover. Caution number 10 about to come to an end here. The lights are off on the pace car. If you're just joining us, just had a big incident there involving Tex Perry and Brian McRae. Tex Perry hitting the outside wall coming out of turn 4 and knocking the steering arm out of his car. He was just a passenger from that point onwards. Unfortunately, could only go straight as he went into turn 1, and Brian McRae caught up in that in a big way as a huge accident took place there. They're both still in pit road. They're both getting repairs. But yeah, big scary incident there for the man in the 85 and the man in the 35 as well. As we're about to go green again, the pace car is about to make that left turn. Travis Brown has the lead here. As we're about to go green again with less than 40 laps to go now. Pace car is off. We're about to get them under green again. As Travis Brown holds them a bit but gets them going now. The outside line still not working on the restarters. Tim Bills falls behind Kyle Gilbert now. Gilbert got the bit between his teeth as now he's working on the back of Travis Brown as they come out of turn 2. Travis Brown gets a bit sideways as they come out of 2. As we've got a car spun on the backstretch there. And the background in the middle of the corner, that is Cody McCorkle. Let's see what happened to him there. Back end just stepped out. Thankfully did not hit anything. It was enough to bring out the caution here, and we're under caution again. Caution number 11 here at Dover. And it looks like Brian McRae has put his car on the hauler. As we're going to grab a word with our league owner, Mr. Tex Perry here, and find out exactly what happened to him and see what his thoughts are. Tex, Sam up in the booth, you got me, sir?
10-4, sir, go ahead.
Just want to talk through about your incident there. Looks like you knocked the steering arm out of the car and a whole melee ensued there. Just talk us through what happened there.
Well, Sam, once I finally got to go back and look at it, it just looks like we got the left front down on the apron, just barely touched it, and somehow, I'm not sure, but I hit the right front so hard in the wall it knocked the left front through the hood.
Yeah, it looks like you could not turn the car from that point onwards. You were just literally a passenger going into turn 1. That must have been a scary incident, especially when Brian McCrae literally had nowhere to go in that corner.
Yeah, we was on the brakes trying to keep it down on the bottom, and it just nothing I could do.
Yeah. So going forward in this race, what are your thoughts? Is your race done now, or do you reckon you can get it back out there?
We're going to try to get it fixed and get back out there and get as many laps as we can get. This was really the momentum we needed going into next week, though, for sure.
Absolutely. So, well, Tex, hopefully you can get that fixed and hopefully you can get back out there before this race is said and done. And unlucky for the big wreck you had between you and McRae. You and Brian McRae were having one hell of a battle out there all night. So, unfortunate that you two had that coming together at the end there.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Brian. He put up a hell of a fight, hell of a racer. I'm glad he come over and joined us tonight. I can't apologize enough for getting into him for what happened, but yeah, had a great time running with him. Hopefully he comes back and plays a little bit more often.
Absolutely. Well, again, hopefully we can get your car fixed and get you back out there, Tex. If you do, good luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you again afterwards.
Appreciate it, buddy.
As that was league owner and scary crash recipient, Mr. Tex Perry. Meanwhile, while we were talking to Tex, saw an incident there with Travis Brown. Got it all wrong coming into pit road. And has had to burn a fast repair because of it. Go back and find out exactly what happened to him. Go back a bit further than that. You see him there, just coming into pit road and tried to fake pit, and it all went wrong. Kyle Gilbert gone into the side of him as well. Wow, that was a bit of a sketchy incident there. As Kyle Gilbert had to take a pit side and get some repairs done. So that's left Tim Bills out in the lead now. Mark Arthur, I bet he wasn't expected to be up there after the second incident. He's up in second place. And Marshall Newton up to third place as well. So, interesting. That's shaking the field up there. Travis Brown tried to fake pit and got it all wrong. As they are 2x2. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to get them going again with 38 laps. 33 laps to go. Yeah, 33 laps to go. Or 32 laps to go. I don't know. 32 laps to go. We'll go with that one. Go with that thought. So, into turns 3 and 4 they go. We're going to get them going under green once again. The pace car is off. Tim Bills has control of the field. Mark Arthur on the outside. Watch that outside line because it's not been the strongest all night. As Tim Bills gets him going, Mark Arthur gets a good restart on the outside. It was actually Marshall Newton that had the bad restart there. And Travis Brown already on the outside. Already all over the back of him as Cody McCorkle moves on to 4th place there in the number 2. Kyle Gilbert going to try and get up to the back of Mark Arthur. He knows he wants to get back up there with Tim Bills, but he's got to make his way around the 12 at some point, or as soon as possible, as they come out of 4. Oh, Gilbert very close to the wall there before they go into turn 1. Almost a big incident there for Gilbert. Out of turn 4 of the coming again as Travis Brown now all over the back of Kyle Gilbert. As Gilbert has actually lost some ground there to Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur able to get away. Actually only 0.7 of a second behind the man that's leading. That's Mr. Tim Bills. Travis Brown still all over the back of Gilbert though. And Cody McCorkle under pressure from his teammate Robbie Hill Jr. Hill Jr. is finally taking a fast repair as well. Marshall Newton's fallen back to P7 after starting 3rd. And Tex Perry is finally back out on track. Good to see you back out there. Finally got that car fixed. Looks like he's taking a fast repair actually. Hunter King, the luckiest man out there right now. Had a terrible race so far, but he's looking at a top 10 here. As Doug Thompson is still in pit road. Brian McRae is out. He's looking at 9th place here. Not bad, but Tim Bills is checked out right now. He is already... Oh, as Gilbert gets into the wall! Can he save it? He does. Good save though by Gilbert. That's going to let Travis Brown on the inside though. Side by side as they come towards turn 3. Brown got the inside line. Gilbert going to try and keep it wound up on the high side, but Brown's going to take away the position here. But Gilbert, big troubles there for the man in the 227. As he's trying to get up to the back of Travis Brown, but not able to make it work so far. The Top Flight Computex number 227 really struggling now in this latter part of the race. Not what he wants to see, especially when there's only 24 laps to go, and Tim Bills is 1.2 seconds to the good over the 2nd place guy. That is Mark Arthur. You can see Mark Arthur right there, just ahead of Travis Brown. Travis Brown's trying to reel him in now. And with as much damage as that car has on Mark Arthur's car, you'd think Travis Brown would be able to reel him in easily, but let's not forget Travis Brown did get some damage on during that pit stop mistake he made. Tex Perry goes another lap down. That's 12 laps down now for the man in the 85. Robbie Hill Jr. up into the top 5 now after passing his teammate Cody McCorkle. McCorkle under pressure from Marshall Newton now. Newton going to try the bottom line there. Not close enough to make a pass though. We see Newton going to try the inside line on McCorkle now as they go into turn 1. Going to dive it in there. Is McCorkle going to defend? McCorkle's not going to defend. He's going to try and come down the track though and squeeze him a bit though. Side by side as they come out of 2. Has Newton got the speed though to get around McCorkle? McCorkle gets the clear there for a second. Marshall Newton going to get a second bite of the cherries. They come out of turn 4. Side by side, but Newton does get the position there. Still side by side. Newton has to give it up though. Going into turn 3, does not have the straight line speed compared to McCorkle. Does have the cornering speed though. Still not able to keep it wound up though, as Hunter King is right there too. So 18 laps to go here. Tim Bills has a 1.7 second lead over Mark Arthur, who is still able to keep the gap between himself and Travis Brown at 0.7 of a second there or thereabouts. Tex Perry is a lap down, so after that huge incident he had with Brian McRae, Kyle Gilbert there in 4th place. He's fallen way off the pace now. Bobby Hill Jr. in 5th place. Cody McCorkle in 6th. 7th is Marshall Newton. And still putting Cody McCorkle under pressure. Going to dive it down low again. McCorkle drifts up wide. Still able to fend him off though as they come out of turn 2. Newton going to dive it in again. He's actually going to get the clear this time. Great move there by Marshall Newton. Takes away 6th place from McCorkle. McCorkle gets into the wall. Not what he wanted to see at this late stage of the race. Having a great battle there with Marshall Newton, only for it to come undone by a slight tap on the wall there. McCorkle's going to be angry. He's going to try and get that position back again. He's going to try and get to the back of the 76. But with damage now on the right side of his car, he's not going to find it easy. However, Marshall Newton has far more damage compared to the two. Apart from that, not really any other battles to speak of right now. Hunter King has moved up to the top 10 now after passing Doug Thompson, who's still in pit road. Tim Bills now leads by 2.1 seconds here. And at this point, you can pretty much say it's his race to lose. Mark Arthur was not expecting to be this, well, he was expected to be up in the top 3, wasn't expecting to have a big incident shortly after that, but he still finds himself up in 2nd place and still able to hold the gap. Actually, he's actually increased the gap between himself and Brown to 1.1 seconds, so Mark Arthur able to keep it wound up here, able to keep hold of 2nd place by a comfortable margin, it seems. Meanwhile, Cody McCorkle still trying to keep Marshall Newton very honest there for that battle for 6th place. Still rumbles on. Very close there as they come out of 4. McCorkle going to try and make a move. Not close enough. Oh, McCorkle in the wall again. Through turns 3 and 4, sorry. And McCorkle blinked out for a second then. That's not going to help him. Still focusing on this battle between Newton and McCorkle. McCorkle losing time though because hitting the wall again, trying to keep up to the back of Marshall Newton. Newton is winning this battle by default here after McCorkle's made another mistake a couple of laps ago. With 10 laps to go here at Dover, Tim Bills still 2.1 seconds the gap between himself and Mark Arthur. Arthur still able to keep ahead of Travis Brown by 1.3 seconds now. Travis Brown is 4.6 seconds ahead of Kyle Gilbert, who's just running by himself there in P4. Robert Hill is doing the same. He's all by himself and he rounds out the top 5 as it stands right now. We've only got 8 cars left running here as Hunter King He's brought it pit side. What's happened here? Let's take a look at what happened to Hunter King here. Oh, he got on the apron. And sideswipes the wall. And he ended up towing it, unfortunately. He's coming back out of pit road now. He's determined to make it to that checkered flag. And I can't really say I blame him. No battles to speak of. Tim Bills has been the man out in front right now. He's been the man in control for this latter part of the race. Really, really controlled matters here since the last restart. Hunter King just coming out of pit road there on the inside of your screen there. On the right side of your screen, I should say. We have 9 cars running after Hunter King gets it going again. Five laps to go here. Tim Bills, a very comfortable margin over Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur, a very comfortable margin over Travis Brown, who sits in third. Travis Brown, very comfortable over Kyle Gilbert, who's 5 seconds back from the 0-1. Robbie Hill Jr. there in 5th place. He's very, very comfortable over Marshall Newton now. And Marshall Newton himself now comfortable over Cody McCorkle. So Tim Bills, only 4 more laps to go here now. Make that 3 laps to go as he's about to come to the line. Been absolutely clinical here, the man in the 37. Not really put a foot wrong here tonight. He had a couple of bad restarts. And possibly a bad pit stop as well. Can't really remember. It's been a long race. As he makes it round turns 3 and 4 now. And popsicle sticks are out this time by 2 laps to go here at Dover. Through turns 1 and 2 goes Bills. Take a look at Mark Arthur there. Still ahead of Travis Brown. You see Travis Brown in the background. As they go through 3 and 4. White flag out this time by as he comes out of turn 4. Tim Bills been dominant in the latter part of this race. He's led 100 laps now. He's led half of the race. And lap 101 that is going to lead is going to be the most important as he comes through turns 3 and 4. He's a very sporadic driver, but he made it here tonight and he's come home with the victory. Comes home and out of turn 4, hits the wall for good measure. Crosses the line and Tim Bills wins at Dover. Mark Arthur is going to be very happy with that. He comes home in 2nd place. Travis Brown crosses the line for 3rd. Kyle Gilbert in 4th. 5th will be Robbie Hill Jr. when he comes across the line. He's going to be happy with that on his debut. Marshall Newton in 6th. Cody McCorkle in 7th. Tex Perry already crossed the line here. He finishes in 8th. Hunter King finishes in 9th. But Tim Bills there is your man. That's been that is your winner. Hopefully it's going to bring it back up the track there. So I can... there you go. As Tim Bills, our winner here. Well, your winner here tonight. At Dover. As we're going to get some interviews underway. And I'm pretty sure Tim Bills is not in TeamSpeak. So we're probably not going to be able to speak to him. So let's go ahead and speak to our 3rd place driver. That is going to be... Travis Brown is muted right now. So while I'm doing that, while I'm waiting for him to unmute, let's oh. Well, there he is. Let's go and bring Travis Brown into the booth. And Travis, Sam up in the booth, you got me, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Very up and down race for yourself. Lots of incidents going on there. A lot of cautions. How did the race go for yourself? Got a third place there.
It went about as good as I thought it would. I absolutely hate Dover, so I'm thrilled to get a third. I got to lead some laps. Would have had a clean car, but there, I guess that last pit stop, there was some shenanigans on who was going to pit, who was not, and I thought some guys weren't, so I went to go back on the track, and then some guys came back down, and I was looking in my mirror, and I drove the sumbitch right into the barrels. So I had to use my quick repair from that. But as far as on-track stuff, it was pretty clean all night for me. I think about everybody else wrecked. But yeah, I really just feel awful because Gilbert had a legitimate shot to win that race. Tim was very, very fast, but Gilbert had a legitimate shot to win. And when I stuck her in the barrels, he got some damage from that, so that kept him back. I don't know if he would have beat Tim, but I mean, he didn't even have a chance at that point, so I felt really bad about that. But yeah, I felt like, you know, had it been those two up there and I not put it in the barrels, I still would have finished third. So I got about all I could out of it tonight. I'm happy. Excited for Dega next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. At least we kind of have a good point cushion. I haven't really looked at the points. So I don't know about playoff points and stuff, but I think I'm kind of safe to send it next week. So that should be fun. And yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Dega, it's a fast-paced track, and it's going to be a lot of action there, to say the least. Just talk us through what you reckon you can do there. We saw you last time we were at Talladega, and you were pretty fast there. Do you reckon you can do it again?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. You know, everybody has a chance. It's just all about making the right move at the right time. I felt like I had a shot last time we were there, but I had a run coming up to the pack there late in the race, and I was the last caution because I got turned around and flipped like 14 or 15 times. I think we counted it down the backstretch. So
yeah, we did.
I don't want to do that again, but yeah, I'm excited. I love Dega. I love restrictor plate racing, so I'm excited. And then I think we got Kansas after that, and I love Kansas as well. So this is probably my best round. And I'm kind of worried about the round of 8 because I'm going to have to like start and park Martinsville because I'll actually be up there, so I won't have all my stuff with me. So that's the round I'm kind of worried about, but I really like Phoenix, so maybe we can do something there. But yeah, this round I'm really pumped for Dega, and I think we can do something at Kansas as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the third place, Travis. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's result?
Just everybody at Rebellion Racing. You know, Gilbert and Mark really put a lot of time into the setups, and it showed tonight. We were pretty fast, so just thanks to them. Shout out to Black Country Rock, just you guys for broadcasting, and yeah, everybody for watching.
Okay, Travis, congratulations, and we'll see you next week from Dega.
Appreciate it.
As that was our third place finisher, Mr. Travis Brown. And joining me in the booth now is our second place finisher, Mr. Mark Arthur. After that second big wreck, Mark, I'm guessing you were thinking the top 3 was out of the question, but you still managed to make it.
Yeah, I don't know what Travis and Kyle was thinking. They had a little mishap there on pit road, which kind of helped me out. I think they were a bit faster than me. I had a ton of damage on the right front still, and I got all the damage fixed, and it was it was okay. It was competitive with what was left out there, but I didn't have anything for Tim Bills, and you know, I think Travis was just trying so hard there toward the end that he just burned his tires up early is the reason I was able to pull him there toward the end.
Yeah, and when I spoke to you last time, you reckoned you could get a top 3 out of that, but I think I might have put the old Beaufort curse on you because you wrecked shortly after that, so I do apologise for that one.
Yeah. I mean, a couple people was racing a little rough. I ain't gonna mention any names, but I mean, some people you catch from a straightaway back, and then you'll dive to the inside of them, and they just want to come down and race the piss out of you. I mean, I get it. Nobody wants to give up a spot, but you know, usually when somebody catches you from that far back, you usually pretty much figure they're a ton faster than you. It's probably best just to let them go. But gotten a couple mishaps with that car, got sideways a couple times, and finally let me go, and there was cautions to get me caught back up, but that's Dover for you. It's pretty much one lane, and especially coming off of two, you really can't be too wide there, so it's basically fighting for that bottom line, and things happen. If there's no too much take and not enough give, a lot of things can go wrong, but I can't complain with where I finished with everything that happened. I guess I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and going from one lane to several lanes, we head to Talladega next week. Mark, you were very fast around there last time. What do you reckon you got for these guys this time round?
I mean, I'm always pretty decent just about anywhere we go, but again, Spencer's going to be hard to beat. Travis is really good at super speedways. Both of them used to be in a league that's all they did was super speedways. So as far as strategy, so I try to stay away from them just because it makes me want to pull my hair out when if you get an 80 lap race and you spend 75 laps being clean, it only takes that one bozo to make a bonehead mistake and just ruin your whole day. So I try to stay away from those because it makes me want to hurt people. So I mean, I don't know. I'll probably be pretty good. You'll probably see me run around the back at the first part of it, try to find that second pack and just hang out and try to miss the cautions and then race toward the end, and hopefully nothing happens.
Absolutely. Well, we'll look forward to that next week. Going through the rest of the second round, though, we do head to Kansas after that. Do you reckon this is a good second round for you, or do you reckon you might have a bit of problems?
No, I guess I'll be all right. 1.5 mile tracks aren't my favorite. Spencer's, again, is going to be really strong there. Gilbert was really strong there last time we went there, but we weren't teammates last time we went there. Now we've teamed up with Gilbert, Spencer and I, and Travis. We've all teamed up together. So I look for all of us to be fast again. Where I'll end up in that pack, we never know. I mean, it's just, whoever clicks with the setup the best, because we all basically run about the same thing. Each one of us might tweak it just here and there, but basically all of us are pretty much running the same thing. So it's just based, pretty much whoever clicks the best with it is basically all it is.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the second place here. I know you weren't expecting it after everything you've been through. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's result?
Just my team, Rebellion Racing. Tex, as always, for putting this on. I guess, I don't know if you've interviewed him, but he's had mic problems all night. I ain't been able to talk to him too much. And both are always for helping me out. I got a new sponsor that's actually sponsoring another league that I'm running, Blazing Pedals. It's Foul Zone Towing. I got them as a sponsor on my car. And that's it. I thank Tim Bills for showing up. It was fun racing with him since we didn't have Spencer in here. Tim is always really clean and fun to race against, and I think he's up in TeamSpeak. We got him that address so he can get in here and do an interview with you.
Yeah, and a quick hello to everybody watching on Twitch as well. Anyway,
thanks.
Yeah. Well, Mark, congratulations again on the second place, and we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Thanks, Sam.
As that was our second place finisher, Mr. Mark Arthur. Let's bring in our race winner now, Mr. Tim Bills. Tim, you don't run very often with these guys, but when you do show up, you put on one hell of a show, and you did tonight. What a great win for you tonight.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Come out here and run with these guys. They're all a lot of the good guys, and I like this track. I haven't had much experience in this car, but I said, well, we're going to give it a try, and applied what I knew from other cars that I race, and it all seemed to work pretty well.
Absolutely. And just describe that race for us. I mean, you led from the front for 101 laps, so pretty much half of the race. When you were cut back in the pack, what was it like racing around those guys? Was it very tight? Was it very loose? Or how were you able to handle it out there?
Yeah, it could get tight if you were trying to hold yourself on the bottom. You could be tight on entry, and then it would be tight, and then when you get on the gas, it was really strange. And all of a sudden, coming off of turn 4 here, you never know. So it could get loose on you, or it could go straight. It was just you just hoped like heck that it would go straight. But it was good racing with them back there, and I had a lot of fun doing that and coming back through. And good racing.
Absolutely. Well, next week we head to Talladega for race 2 in round 2 of the chase. Do you reckon you're going to be there for that one?
No, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it there. I've got other plans, so I can't make it to that race. But hopefully, maybe the next week we can come in there and mix it up with them again.
Yep, hopefully, and it would be good to have you back with us again at Major League Esports. But for now, congratulations on the win. Definitely stunk up the show for the chase drivers out there, but I'm sure you won't mind. But anyway, is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's victory?
Yeah, I'd like to. I got to thank my sponsors, H&H Science Supply, Justin Brooks Designs, and I want to thank guys at Wheeling and Dealing Motorsports, and AJ Rogers came in here and raced, and he just got caught up in some unfortunate circumstances, but we had a good time. Thanks for the broadcast.
You're very welcome. Well, Tim, it was good to have you with us, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the near future.
Sure hope to. Yep.
That was our race winner, Mr. Tim Bills. Well, what a race we saw out there. Very much a race of attrition as what you usually expect for Dover, but one man came out on top. He doesn't turn up very often, but he did tonight, and he turned it up for everybody out there and brought home the win. Well, that is going to do it tonight. We're going to go through the results before we go anywhere, so let's go to that very quickly when I find the actual tune that I want to play. When I find it, it will be epic. Oh. Now, with that, we will go to our results for the race as Tim Bills, he brought home the win tonight out of just his one-off visit, and second, a very, very surprising second place after all everything that's been through tonight was Mark Arthur. Travis Brown brings home the third place. Kyle Gilbert had one epic battle with Tim Bills earlier in the race, but ultimately fell back after an incident and pit road with Travis Brown. He finishes in fourth. Robert Hill on his debut finishes fifth. Marshall Newton in sixth. Cody McCorkle on his debut finishes seventh. Tex Berry, huge incident involved in himself and Brian McRae earlier. He comes home for eighth. Hunter King, last car running, he comes home in ninth. Brian McRae, retired but still holds on for 10th place. 11th place was Doug Thompson. 12th place was AJ Rogers. Had a strong run earlier in the race, but unfortunately, as Tim Bills mentioned, caught up in some unfortunate incidents, and his night was over from that point onwards. Tyler Vickery, last driver to finish here tonight, he had some connection issues, unfortunately putting pay to his race. He comes home in 13th place and last. Well, that is going to do it here for the race. As I'm going to take this down. And this down. As, yeah, what an interesting race that was. Lots of attrition, lots of driving, but either way, it's been a good one. But for now, let's go through our schedule before we go. And the next broadcast you will see us will be live from Road Atlanta as the both Indy Classic Series takes to the track for round 3 of the brand new Classic Indy Series. As my mouse is taking a bit of a... As yeah, we will be there for that one. So do not miss that, as we are going to be live from 8:50 p.m. EST. Monday we will be back with the Paskey's Cardiac Truck Series as they take to the Super Speedway at Talladega. And what a race that will be, as several trucks going toe-to-toe with each other. And we'll definitely be looking forward to watching that one. Wednesday, we're back with Top Fuel Racing as they take to the road courses as well, as they head down under to Phillip Island. That is going to be one hell of a race to watch, so do not miss that one. The AZ Battle of Phillip Island. It's going to be one hell of a race. And then Thursday we head to Somo as they take their turn on the Monster Mile. They go around Dover in their Portside Jaguar and Land Rover Cup Series. Do not miss that one. Then Friday we go to Talladega for the first. No, we go to Kansas actually in the Go Fast Grand National Series as they continue their chase, and then next Saturday we head to Talladega with Major League Esports as they continue their chase as well. But for now, that is going to do it for me. I think I've said all that needs to be said, and I'm going to get on out of here and make my way towards Road Atlanta, as tomorrow night we'll be back there with the Both for Indy Classics Series. So all that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you tomorrow live from Road Atlanta. See you then.